Remember, this is the same Angel Reese who once said with full confidence that Caitlin Clark was not the only reason people watched the WNBA. Angel Reese was later called out by Caitlin Clark after moving to the Uneven Basketball League, and it really looked like Reese truly thought she was the big attraction. Now jump ahead to this new league where Clark is not even competing with her and Reese still flops even harder than a really bad sequel. She had a perfect chance to prove herself on a new stage away from Caitlin's shadow, but instead she lost her very first game because her attitude is awful, her ego is way too big, and her skills are bad.
Her fans are not going to be happy if she's not touching the ball. And you going to have, and maybe that'll be good for the league, controversy. But the Reese's Pieces not going to be happy if Angel's just running up and down the floor.
I want to ask you, Angel, what is your excuse now that all the attention was on you? The competition was set up for you and you still could not perform, so how exactly are you going to explain yourself now, because your so-called next big thing status now looks like the next big joke and everyone is watching this mess unfold?
I'm so excited to join this crew. I mean, I feel like I can pull from everybody on the team. If it's coming from leadership, veteran leadership, Lexi brings a lot of defense. I've been playing against Lexi for a while.
The massive Lal Rose Basketball Club was depending on her to show up on January 17, 2025, when the Unrivaled Basketball League finally made its big hype debut. Instead, Angel Reese's first game ended in a loss and everyone was asking what went wrong during the Unrivaled game. Fans had high expectations, but instead she handed the win to Vin Basketball Club like a welcome gift. The final score was Vinyl BC 79 D Row BC 73. Sounds close, right? Nope, that 6-point gap does not show just how chaotic and messy the game really was.
So here go the rankings right here. So they got Lona Owls number 1, Phantom number 2, Foul number 3, Miss number 4, Laces number 5, and you got Rose number 6. Come on, bro. Y'all know damn.
She came back into this market with more hype than a Black Friday sale, but it turns out their big statement ended up being a massive failure on paper. 10 points and 14 rebounds sound decent at first, but when you see she shot under 30% and had 4 huge turnovers that stabbed her team's chances, it tells a different story. Ray did not step up. She stumbled, fumbled, and pulled Rose BC down with her. She actually hurt her team's chances of winning the game. She had 3 fast break chances, yes, 3 real chances to change the momentum for her team, but instead she dropped them like hot potatoes, which was annoying, useless, and pointless. And on top of that, she grabbed 14 rebounds. Sure, but what good are rebounds if you are basically a revolving door for the other team's offense? Ryan Howard was pretty much living in the paint since I'm so.
She's going to be a problem. She already a thorn in Angel's side because Angel thinks she's the cutest chick in the league.
Speaking of Ryan Howard, she gave a perfect performance that somehow made Reese look even worse. Howard shot 55% from the field and scored 33 points, and that is exactly what Angel Reese was supposed to be, skill mixed with leadership. When the fourth quarter came and the pressure got heavy, Howard stepped in like a true boss and scored 10 of her team's final points while Reese was busy being a problem, tripping over herself and letting the game slip farther and farther away.
Angel Reese had something similar to say about Unrivaled. When Angel was asked about Unrivaled, she said, "I would stay here forever. Everything I need is here, from massages to cold tubs to being able to have resources to workouts and everything."
And it was not just Reese who failed, her whole team went down with her. The difference was painful to watch because Rose BC looked like they were just playing a casual pickup game at the local YMCA, while Vinyl BC moved the ball like a symphony orchestra, smooth, organized, and unstoppable. There was no plan, no unity, just pure chaos. The leadership difference between the two teams was clear. Howard led by example and pushed her teammates to rise up, while Reese's lack of presence and clear insecurity dragged her squad down with her, and now Rose BC is sitting dead last in the rankings.
But Breanna Stewart knows that she can beat Angel off the dribble. And so that is something, if there is a mismatch in the 3v3, obviously you want to take advantage of that, but it could turn into a game that's just kind of one-dimensional. Now, it does seem like they're running a lot of half-court sets. They have played.
This was more than just a bad game by Angel Reese. It was a total embarrassment that showed every weakness in her game, including turnovers, missed free throws, and zero real defense. It felt like a checklist of everything you never want to see from your star player, and the worst part was she looked completely unready for a big moment like this. Having one bad night is normal, but this was something way worse than that. Meanwhile, Vinyl BC showed off against Rose BC from start to finish. The teamwork, the execution, the game plan, everything was there, and they did not just beat Rose BC, they exposed them as a messy, unorganized team with Reese right in the middle of it all, stumbling through what should have been her big moment. It is a total disaster to compare the team captains Ryan Howard and Angel Reese because one has a career that shines with brilliance and a record that scares opponents before the game even starts. Ryan Howard's skill as a WNBA superstar cannot be argued at all, while Angel Reese still looks like she is stuck in the tutorial phase, and while potential sounds nice, championships are won by execution. Howard dropped 33 points and left everyone speechless, while at the same time every moment Reese felt pressure, she reacted like a car crash and dragged her team down fast. Howard scored 12 points in tough contested moments, showing that cold-blood clutch mindset. Like a true general, she controlled the court and directed every move of Vinyl BC with power, vision and accuracy. Meanwhile, Reese looked overwhelmed and completely out of place, like a deer caught in headlights. The media praised Howard's performance as elite, while Reese was hit with heavy criticism for looking unimpressive and unready for prime time. One performance was a masterclass in leadership and the other was a clear lesson on how not to captain a team, and the difference between them could not have been more clear. Let's dig into the real reasons why Reese was the weakest link in Rose BC's chain, starting with 4 turnovers that turned into 8 easy points for Vinyl BC. That is not just a rough night, that is a full disaster, and if those turnovers were not already bad enough, her free throw shooting was a total nightmare. She went 2 for 6, and those 4 missed points were basically gift wrapped for Vinyl BC in a close game. Those are the kinds of mistakes that stick with teams and turn what could have been wins into painful losses. But wait, it gets worse. Vinyl BC's aggressive defense made Reese look like she had never seen a double team before. Instead of adjusting, she panicked again and again, got trapped, lost the ball, and handed all the momentum to the other side. Watching it was painful, like watching someone try to put out a fire using gasoline. And while we are being honest, let's not skip her defense or the lack of it. Ryan Howard did not just dominate, she walked into the paint like it was her own living room. Reese was supposed to guard the door, but instead she opened it wide and let Howard score easily. Then there is leadership, or in this case the giant empty space where leadership should have been. Instead of stepping up and giving her team confidence, she disappeared when they needed her the most, and Rose BC fell apart as Reese faded into the background. This was not just a bad game, it was a full collapse. After this, fans, teammates and analysts were all left asking if Reese really has what it takes to wear the captain badge, and right now the answer is leaning strongly toward no. Then came Caitlin Clark's blunt statement, which hit like a sledgehammer. Angel Reese's performance was disappointing. She needs to focus on the basics before chasing the spotlight, and honestly, Clark was not wrong. Reese's debut was not only weak, it was like a flashing neon sign pointing at every flaw in her game. The public reaction has been split. Some fans still believe Reese has big potential, while others are quietly agreeing with Clark, saying she just said what everyone was thinking. So is there any upside? Maybe it is that all her mistakes are out in the open. The path to getting better is clear. Stop panicking under pressure, fix the turnovers, make your free throws, and actually learn how to lead. But let's be real, none of that is easy, and this league is not kind to players trying to figure things out. So what happens next? Angel, will you rise up and prove Caitlin Clark wrong, or are you okay being the face of missed expectations? The ball is in your hands right now, but if this first game tells us anything, you might want to work on holding onto it, because you have a long way to go before people take you seriously. Maybe start by watching Ryan Howard's highlight reel and work backward, because if this is what you and your team are bringing, this season is going to be long and embarrassing.